The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope, and then you bang your head on the ring apron. Don't do that. That's when you feel like a big dope, and they're the worst bumps you should be taking. Oh, it's the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for the hot tag, and you go ahead and make your own comeback. Knock it off. That's when you should quit wrestling, and you're better off rolling a thumbtacks. AEW, the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Hey, double claps. I can't hear you at home. Let's go, Bob Squad. Hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Whoa, Nelly. What it is. How you living? Saying stuff, doing things, saying stuff related to the things we're saying things in correlation with the stuff we're doing. It is bananas. It is off the hook, off the wall, off the chain, under the table, under the weather, under the radar. You gosh darn rootin' tootin', sharp shooting, gunslinging outlaws. I'm doing this as fast as possible right after Backlash. I usually wait for after the pay-per-views. I pronounced pay-per-view like it's two-word, pay-per-view, like you're looking at paper. I'm going to do it right away this time. Why? Because then I'm going to forget and it's going to be too late. But no, I wanted to have a fresher mind of the whole deal, and perhaps I would forget less, and maybe it'll be entertaining. Let's try it this way, see if it is better. I have no news and notes up top. Maybe as far as other stuff I'm involved in, I'll think of something later. Let's jump right into WrestleMania Backlash 2021. WrestleMania Back Hair was... oh man, there was some really great stuff, and what a big stain on the underwear this show has right in the middle. You already know what I'm talking about. If I made it up, you'd say that's idiotic. They're never going to do anything that dumb. But it happened. I watched the pre-show in and out because I went to Subway and got a 12-inch chicken bacon ranch sandwich. It was pretty good. Usually this punk teenage kid makes it, and when he makes it, they suck. But this young lady made it, and she just did a better job. You know, I guess she didn't care. You know, because the punk kid was always like, "Hey, so how's your day? How's your Friday? How's your Saturday? How's your Sunday? Whatever day it is, you understand? How's your day going? How's your weekend going? Fuck you. That's how my weekend is going. Fuck you. I'm at Subway. What do you think I'm doing? If it's 8 o'clock on a Friday and I'm at Subway, what do you think you think I'm leaving the house after this? No. Good Lord. Are you kidding me? I'm eating yoga mat bread here, for fuck's sake. And some dick wiener's asking me what I'm up to this weekend. Nothing. I'm here now. You close at 9. Okay. What is going on outside? Is it whistling? Is that maybe it's the sprinklers? Ignore it if you can hear that. If you can't hear that, just ignore it and ignore it even further. So the pre-show is Caleb Braxton constantly getting interrupted by JBL and Booker T. Booker T is just Booker. He's excited. But JBL knows better. He's just a blowhard. He's been on Fox News. He knows how, and WWE. He knows how this shit is supposed to work. But he can't stop going on long-winded speeches, talking over everybody, interrupting, and also chiming in as she throws it away to like some backstage thing. So, Jesus, it's too much. I get it. You're an alpha male. Okay, congratulations, asshole. We start the show with a giant package, a long package, a throbbing, blue-veined package, just smacking us in the chin as we're trying to eat our Fruit Loops on a Tuesday morning. Is it going to be one of these? It's going to be one of these. Oh, this might be fun. Okay. So the thing, I should have seen it coming. Should have been. I got the giggles today. I'm sorry, Bob Squad. I got the giggles. I'm a little giggly. I got the chuckles. I got the ha-has. We have a huge package. And then, it's narrated by Batista, and I should have known something was coming. So apparently he's on something called Army of the Dead, which I honestly did think was a video game by the graphics. And it turns out later I find out it's a Netflix movie or Netflix running series, probably a series. But I honestly did think that Batista's in a video game, and he couldn't actually be here, and why would he want to? To do what? Fist bump the computers? Who gives a shit? So you see this, and then after this long Batista package, we have a long package on the Raw Women's thing. Let me precurse this. Before every match I'm about to talk about, there's a long video package about the match, and I get it. The production's amazing. It's the best production of any company in the world. It's this. Cool. Do we have to be smacked in the face with the wiener of your production? The whole theme is WrestleMania smack in the face with a wiener. WrestleMania wiener smack. The whole theme of this program is how sterile and pre-produced can we remind you that the company has become. I'm watching Peacock. I'm watching the show. I know already. And in a way, I could actually skip all the Raws and just watch the pay-per-view and the pre-show, and they'll really just tell me what I missed, which is their fault, really, to put their own show, make their own show obsolete. But they've done that. And here's how I know, because I don't watch SmackDown, and I still know what's going on. SmackDown. Let's side note before we talk about the first match. I'm sorry. Okay, here. So on Friday, Natalya and Tamina won the tag team championships from Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. We know this because if you follow any WWE wrestlers or NXT, whatever, talent at all, and wrestlers who recently worked there, etc., or just from other companies. I mean, recently within like the last few years, not the last month necessarily. Everyone's going bananas congratulating Tamina Natalya. Wrestling Twitter is pretty much talking about Tamina and Natalya for the whole weekend, right? Great. Awesome. I have no problems with that whatsoever. Not on the show, not mentioned once. Is it me? Am I stupid? Do I not understand? They have all this love. They're the ultimate baby faces. They have everyone's just crying, tears of joy, paying a town rent until the cows come home, frozen pigs flying in hell. I know what I said. Every one of them crying tears of joy. Tamina Natalia, Tamina Natalia. Not on a damn show. Were they on a pre? Were they mentioned on a pre-show? Maybe. I don't know. It was hard to tell because JBL kept interrupting. And if there were pre-show, I don't know if there were pre-show matches. I didn't tune in quite frequently enough. The Peacock on my app that I was trying to watch while I was walking to and fro the Subway restaurant to get my sandwich from a sandwich artist to visit the artist who made my sandwich. The Peacock app for some reason was going back to like a 1 year old episode of Raw, which is hilarious because Peacock's only been around for like 6 weeks. So I don't even know how that was. And I never clicked on it. Jesus, so I don't know what was going on there. And I just said, "Ah, the hell with it. I'll make it back in time," and I did. So the tag champs. Oh, by the way, I wrestled for a company of Samoans. By the way, only Samoans were allowed to pin other Samoans. So Nia Jax, who has taken none of the falls anytime the team is beat in a non-title match, or the singles matches, Shayna Baszler is always the one pinned. Nia lost one match to Lana where she made it a comedy thing about her hole and everyone forgot about Lana. Where Nia deliberately made a look, I'm making fun of myself thing, which really isn't making fun of yourself because it was pre-planned. So, and it was fake. It wasn't a real moment. But anyway, Nia takes a pin from a finish 1-2-3 when it's another person of Pacific Island heritage she is in a ring with. How convenient. How convenient. The Samoans only allowed to pin a Samoan, so I recognized it right off the bat. Oh, of course, now Nia takes the pin. But when it's time for Lana, after taking 10 announcer table bumps in a row every 10 for 10 weeks, when it's time for Lana to get her moment and be elevated, Nia turns the whole thing into a joke about her butthole, and that's how she and is selling none of Lana's offense or Not that Nia should be selling a ton of Lana's offense, but you know what I'm saying? It's just a bit of selfishness and hypocrisy. And I caught it, and I don't care. I'm not crazy. Drinking water. Drinking water. It's good for you. But you know, I was drinking earlier. Diet Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper tastes just like regular Dr. Pepper. Diet Dr. Pepper. Go to Coca-Cola.com right now /Dr. Pepper. Type in the special code Bob, and you'll get nothing. They will wonder what the problem is. Our first match. Now that I've rambled on for 10 minutes and 40 something seconds. Wow. Is Charlotte versus Asuka versus Rhea, who is the champion. It's a three-way for the women with a huge long package. They turned on the what's the most predictable finish algorithm, and Rhea pinned Asuka. It wasn't a bad match. It wasn't great. Charlotte wore a Cruella de Vil outfit of some sort. Damn it! I'm listening to a lot of Danhausen, so I just said of. I didn't do the voice, but I did say of some sort. But yes, no, she's wearing a Cruella de Vil inspired thing. Charlotte's facial expressions in this are good. Or a little on the edge of a little over the top, but I'm gonna let it pass. Charlotte was great here. Asuka was great here, but poor Asuka, we knew she was here to take the fall there. It occurred to me during the match. You know what I was thinking? I'll just tell you, it goes faster that way. Well, I would just be here guessing. What a waste of time that would be. I think Rhea is a heel because Vince McMahon thinks Rhea's look is the look of a heel and doesn't know that not all baby-faced women are smiling blondes with long blonde hair, to be specific. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not sure what the issue is there. Like, he thinks like Lacey Evans is like a babyface in today's society, and I like Lacey Evans, by the way. People give her a hard time. I thought she was more of a victim of being brought up from NXT too quick and she tried hard to do whatever wackiness they gave her. And hell of an athlete, ex-Marine too, tough as nails, and a mom. Before she got pregnant, she still is a mom to another child. Um, so respect for Lacey Evans. I don't shit on Lacey Evans. I think she made as much chicken salad of the chicken shit as she possibly could. So no hate towards her. So Charlotte is, of course, so it's to set up Charlotte and Rhea at some point, which is a heel match. So I don't get. I do not. I'll be honest with you, because I'm a Rhea Ripley fan. I anything she's done on Raw and Beyond, I really haven't enjoyed. She's not. I don't believe her as a heel right now. I don't buy it. Nobody wants to boo her. I'm not feeling it. I think a live crowd would have changed that. Had there been one, a live crowd would have turned that for. Anyway, let's move on because I'm wasting a lot of time here. Was he a package about stupid goddamn Braun Strowman? And this is another thing with these pay-per-views now. I hope this goes away when live crowds come back. It won't. It won't go away because fucking Pritchard's there now. The Yes Man, all these goofy entertainment things. I'm in a mood. I'm actually in a good mood, but this is fresh on my mind now. Because there's 98 backstage segments on this show. And then you got the packages. Like, if there were a live crowd here, anything they like, they're going to cool down and get bored of quickly between matches. Because, good God, the wait. Something happens backstage. Miz and Morrison are having like a semi-argument, so we're eventually doing this breakup. Then there's the Dirty Dogs. I haven't seen the Dirty Dogs before. Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. And the Dirty Dogs beat up Rey Mysterio's son Dominic and drop a couch on him. Not kidding. Couch was still wrapped up like an old Italian grandmother. Just like, you are not actually touching the couch. It is staying in the clear plastic. And that's how they're keeping it too, so they can return it to the rental place without any damage. Anyway, they have a backstage. Now they have another backstage thing right after that. Dominic apparently immediately got to a trainer and the trainer tells Rey Mysterio that he will need a new partner, his son cannot compete. Which takes us to my favorite match of the night was Rey Mysterio in a differently abled adults match. Let's keep it PC here. Versus the Dirty Dogs. And Rey Mysterio wrestled Dolphin Rude for a long time. And it was getting a little silly, like why haven't the two tag champions beat one guy yet? But Rey is a legend too. And the three of them were just working hard and having a kick-ass time. And Rey was being Rey and doing kick-ass stuff against Dolphin Rude. And yeah, Rey's flying around. There's a head scissors here, a head scissors there, flipping this guy. But it's more logical when someone like Rey does it because he knows what he's doing. He's using that head scissors to take Dolph, for example, to take Dolph out of the ring so he can fight Rude alone. One of the matches where this is best explained very simply by Vince McMahon of all people is during WrestleMania 12's Iron Man match with the Shawn versus Bret. So how about that? It's a long match. You can go back and find it. You're welcome to do that. Or if some maniac was watching the entire show to do a surprise review on it someday, whew, that would be weird. LOL. Eventually, Mysterio is at his wit's end, and his son Dominic comes limping down, and then Dominic, of course, tags himself in. Michael Cole does give away that aspect of it, though, like when it was going just a hair too long, and Michael Cole actually says it's how realistic is it that Rey Mysterio is still in this match? Well, geez, Michael, thank you. You should have held on to that. No, he didn't. He didn't announce the Priest Miz match. We'll get to that. Shit. The Mysterios win. The Mysterios win, and they are the first father and son tag team ever. Kayla Braxton is in the ring immediately, which is odd, but it's not her fault. She's good, but this was not her fault. She was sent in there, and Mysterio and Dominic said some nice stuff. Dominic, of course, was a little shy and a little bland, and Rey just sold the passion as much as he could, and it was great. Then we have another commercial for Army of the Dead. Keep that in mind. So John Morrison goes into the locker room of the Lumberjacks. This is going to come out of my mouth. They should be embarrassed for writing it, and it's about to come out of my mouth, and I'm embarrassed just saying it and admitting I watched it. John Morrison opens the door to talk to the Lumberjacks to try to get an advantage for the Miz versus Damian Priest Lumberjack match. And instead of a bunch of wrestlers, usually it's a bunch of underneath wrestlers, who are just there. God, no, in indie wrestling, especially with the Samoans, in indie wrestling, I was a lumberjack many, many times because it's the most economical of gimmick matches that you can do and advertise. Oh, everybody who's sitting around, go out there and stand there. And you know what to do when the time comes. So one time it was like a leather strap lumberjack match, but they didn't have leather straps or provide. They just said they advertised it that way and just said, "Well, I hope you guys brought belts with your jeans." And like, "Oh, I happen to have a belt." Yeah, and they're like, "Great, we were just hoping you guys had belts, and that's based on advertising it." So you have to whip the guy as he gets thrown out. Yeah, who cares? Okay, but you had to be there. All right, give me a break. It was Allentown. Okay, where was I? Morrison opens the door and finds, to his horror, about 90 of Central Casting's best or worst zombies. Zombies were presented as real and a real threat and a real phenomenon on this show. Morrison, a grown man, does not stop to think these are a bunch of actors in makeup. He believes they are zombies, and he was proven right according to the canon of the show, and runs away from the zombies. We cut right to Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso having a serious thing with Roman, which was great, but I'm sure if you watch that segment on its own, I'm like, oh, okay, it's pretty intense. And Roman was in there, he's very intense, but we just saw zombies. Morrison, then this is all backstage. So we're in a pay-per-view, we're backstage. So they don't care. It's a big Raw now. Morrison is explaining to Miz there are zombies, and Miz does not believe him because Miz is a sane person. And then Damian Priest wrestles the Miz, and hey, why don't we just tear off Damian's Priest's pants and pee up his butt? How about that? Can we just do that for the fucking show? Fuck you. We sorry. So the zombies are actually the lumberjacks in the match, and there's a lot of them. I said 90, there wasn't 90, but there's dozens. There had to be. I think 40 is fair. That there were 40 people in the way. Because I'm thinking I'm just thinking backstage for my wrestling time, and again, my deal was not a fraction of anything going on here, but I'm just thinking of how crowded it would be in any locker room to have just 40 extra people. Some of them, most of them had to be wrestlers of some sort. Damn it, I said some sort again. But they had to be wrestlers or trained or something because they started taking kicks and punches or something later on. So Damian Priest is out there trying to shut up the Miz's mouth and be a serious, like kick-ass anti-hero, like rock and roll good guy. Kind of like the Crow before he died. I mean, before he died in the movie, not before. Oh, fuck, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, Damian Priest is out there trying to be Damian Priest. And he's got freaking zombies everywhere. And it's going to be the most the ridiculed thing. Corey Graves tried. He would try a little reference here and there about the WWECW zombie on Sci-Fi years ago or something like that. He would try, but he can't piss on it too much because then he's going to get yelled at for you to take the zombie thing seriously. Because General Adnan, that guy tried. I was wondering how that guy was going to do in a pay-per-view, and I didn't notice him, so that was good. In longer matches, he was better. I heard Byron talk more on this night. So I'm trailing way off, but I have to do this. But then it occurred to me, oh wait, this might be an easier night for Adnan because Raw is 3 hours of him having to go, and a pay per view is every other match. It's like half of the 3 hours. It's on and off, more or less. But whatever. And the matches are longer, so there's probably, you would think, more breathing room and this, that, and the other thing. Take a second, tell a story of the match. Unfortunately, the story of this match is fucking zombies. Okay. Priest wins. He hits his finish and he wins. So the zombies are actually a little grabby, like they're grabbing the guy's feet. So that's why I was like, these might not be wrestlers, because wrestlers would know not to do that. But then Priest and Miz, unless they were instructed to do that, and it's hilarious to me of all the zombie movies we've ever seen. You're in a small house. You're on the top of a shopping mall. You're boarded up in a bar. I'm thinking of Shaun of the Dead. You're whatever your home base is to protect yourself from the zombies. Of all the things, those three ropes are the things that zombies cannot penetrate through somehow. So zombies can be taken out with kicks to the shoulder if you slap your leg. I found out because Miz and Damien briefly jump into the crowd, or where the crowd in theory would be, and beat up the zombies together. And Morrison runs out again. I forget what happens. Morrison tries to jump off the barricade, and some zombies take him away. And then Priest wins. Priest takes off, and 20-something zombies all gather around Miz, and it's suggested by the commentators that the zombies are devouring or eating or killing the Miz, and that the Miz is dead or bitten to become a zombie. Miz better be in zombie makeup tomorrow on Raw, which I guess sometime Tuesday, I hope, would be the time I would be able to review that. Miz and Morrison better both be zombies on Raw. That's the only. I almost said logical. No, it's the least nonsensical step. And to keep kayfabe, he better be a zombie on Miz and Mrs. That's what I want to see. I want to see Maurice and the two babies and zombie Miz tanning and not working out at his house in LA. His perfect life. Yeah, he earned it, huh? I didn't do any stars today. Why would I? I didn't give them. I'm not giving anything any exaggerated. They do. Let's move on. They did a commercial that the Hell in a Cell is in June now instead of October. What the hell is in October then? Why is Hell in a Cell in June? It's gonna be all the same wrestlers. Oh, who cares anymore? We're backstage again. The good guy Uso calls the bad guy Uso. Jimmy calls Jay a bitch. That's the thing. Bitch is like the new worst thing. It's like the one curse they're allowed to say, so that I think that's why they overuse it. And it's this big thing. So basically, this entire angle is overshadowing Cesaro's chances, and it's really about the struggle of the two Usos on whether or not to support Roman Reigns. Remember that for later. This is going long. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Sorry. Bayley wrestles Bianca, and for everyone who's like, hey, isn't it great? For everyone who got fooled by the hype of the moment, and it was great for Michael Cole to make the call. Two women of color in a main event wrestling first time. Yes, no problem, no problem whatsoever. But the fakeness that WWE doesn't mean it, that it meant nothing, is at the very next pay-per-view, the winner of Night 1 of WrestleMania of 2021. So Mania 37 was it? I think 37 is right. The very next pay-per-view. She's following zombies, so don't tell me the moment meant anything. All right. It should personally to her it should mean something, and to those fans, yes, 100% it should mean something. To the company, don't pretend that the company cares about this moment. This I hate to be perverted, but there was a weird call by Michael Cole once again as Bayley was entering, where he said he just paused at the wrong time. He said Bayley, known for shaving her, and then he pauses, and then says opponent's name in the back of her head lately or something like that. Which I didn't know she was doing for everybody. I know she did it for Michael Cole at the Rumble and he wasn't calling the match or something like that. But it was a weird thing. Known for shaving her opponent's name in the back. What the fuck? It's just one of those things where you just do a double take and you go, whoa, what? What are you doing? All right. And no offense to any of the women involved in it. I just kind of something I wanted to. It was just the weird double take moment. They have a good back and forth match. I'd like to see them wrestle again. I want a rematch. Only because what it was following, and I don't know. I think with just a little more practice and chemistry, or time together in chemistry, uh, they can do even better. I think they can do as well as Bianca Sasha if they just had another. Maybe they'll do the cell. I don't know. Doesn't need a cell. They just they just need to follow not crap. I don't know. Anyways, a weird roll-up pin where they were going back and forth with Bailey's hair or Sasha's hair. Jesus, damn it, Bianca's hair, the one with the really long hair, and Bailey was playing with Bianca's hair and trying to use it to cheat and steal and use it to wrap up. It was hard to explain, but she was using Bianca's crazy long hair braid to trap Bianca, so Bianca had to take Bailey's finish, but Bianca rolled her up somehow and used the hair behind Bailey's knee to get the pin. If you so anyway, Bianca wins. Bailey's very upset and she yells at the announcers. Oh, then there's a three-way. Oh, the big three-way. Drew, Braun, and Lashley. Everyone on the internet said this was really good. I got bad news. I fell asleep. I fell asleep early on. I woke up for a second and Lashley went through some pyrotechnics and some stuff exploded. So he doesn't have to wrestle for the second half of the match. I'm assuming Braun and Drew wrestled for a bunch. I saw a brief clip online of Braun power bombing Drew through the table or something. And Lashley came back, and I was falling in and out of sleep. And I just heard Lashley's music playing. He was announced as a winner. Drew looked upset. Drew was on the outside of the ring. So I'm assuming Lashley pinned Braun somehow, which makes the two three-ways having the choose the most predictable finish type of deal, and I guess the obvious conclusion is Lashley and Drew in the cell in June. That's all I know. Then we had the main event, and again, there's packages, long packages before all of these. Roman Reigns versus Cesaro. This is very good. I was still groggy, so I was having a little trouble waking up and getting into it while I was watching. Uh, and unfortunately, it didn't quite live up to what I thought it was going to be. I thought I appreciate the story that Cesaro hurts his right arm and he can't use all his power things against Roman. I thought it just came a little bit early in the match. I think that'll be more of a halfway thing or the beginning of Roman's heat instead of. They did a couple of lockups, headlocks, tackles, yada, and then just Cesaro out of the ring and hurts his arm. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of weak. Uh, Cesaro took a beating and survived it and everything else, and Cesaro did all sorts of things to overpower Roman's like guillotine with his bad arm and stuff. And Roman eventually beat him. It didn't quite have, and again, we know it's right after WrestleMania, and Cesaro was kind of a build out of nowhere type of opponent. Because halfway in between these two pay-per-views, they did the Roman Daniel Bryan thing on SmackDown. So really, the time and the journey to build wasn't there. We didn't see Cesaro. Maybe we did see him beat these guys, but he didn't spend a lot of time. He should be beating Corbin, or maybe wrestling Apollo for the Intercontinental, or maybe going through Jey Uso an extra time or two, or something like that. And it didn't happen. So he was just it was kind of a letdown. No Big E or Apollo Crews for that matter, the Intercontinental Champion, on this show, which I was surprised. I thought they were supposed to have some kind of like gimmick match with the. Well, I guess they did, huh? Mania. That was Jesus Christ. I don't know anymore. Anyway, no Sheamus in the U.S. title. Yeah, Roman and Cesaro was great. I mean, two awesome workers, hard hitting, believable. Cesaro did a great job of trying to shake out the arm and telling you with his body language that this still hurts what I'm trying to do to him, but I have to put my arm through this to win this match, so I didn't mind. Because I know, like, a lot of, rightfully so, a lot of, old timers will complain, well, this guy had his leg worked on for 10 minutes and now he's running the ropes. And they're 100% right. I thought Cesaro, when it's your arm, it's different. So, because you can still move around and run around. You just have a bad arm. But when he would off his arm and sell his arms really hard afterwards, like, Cesaro knows what he's doing. So you're not going to have a problem with him there. I would have liked to have seen him do a bit more to Roman than he did. Like, he had the sharpshooter above the one hand, then he kind of lost it. There was no swing, which is disappointing. I think that's what everybody. I think at least I wanted to see the swing on Roman because we don't think he's going to do it to Roman because it's Roman, right? So yeah, I want to see him do it to Roman. Screw it. Why not? Roman's winning anyway. Um, Roman doesn't have to sell it like it killed him. He can just sell it like it got him dizzy and pissed him off, which makes sense. So why wouldn't you do that? I think it'd be great to see Roman take the swing and then get up and go back down and stagger and Paul Heyman's face during the entire swing would be awesome because I could see him starting off with a little reaction and then it growing and growing and growing and growing, and he'd probably be the best thing about the swing. So to see Paul Heyman during the swing on Roman would have been awesome. And I kind of sucks we didn't get that moment, but still a great match nevertheless. My favorite was still the Dirty Dogs and Rey Mysterio. I thought that was awesome. And the youngest guy in that, I think Dolph was like 39, 38, something like that. So good to see the 40-year-old show you how it's done, kid. All right. That's WrestleMania back here, unsightly and easily covered up, nevertheless. Oh, news for me before I get out. My Son Bob episode, Discombobulated, is running long. It's not long enough for a two-parter, but it's instead of the standard 17-ish minutes that they usually are. This one's probably. I hope it doesn't go past 25. It shouldn't, but I'm thinking, yeah, like 22, 23. So it's just going to be a long, but it's wacky, and I hope it's worth it. But I'm working on it. it's hard because every little scene looks nothing. I trying to make every scene in this look radically different from the scene before it, which means I'm constantly running around and moving stuff, and it's a bit of a chore, but whatever. I hope it's going to be worth it for the Bob Squad. Beach Town Podcast is not ready yet. It's a collaboration, folks. So, and later this week on Chasing 80s Toys, check out that channel from Chris Mewa, Chasing 80s Toys. Sometime this week, you're gonna see Bob's collection on there. So, and I hope you enjoyed the 1995 Godzilla, the burning Godzilla from the movie Godzilla vs. Destroyer from 1995. I put that up a day or two ago. It should still be there. So enjoy that. Enjoy the toys. And enjoy the wrestling. I watched Ring of Honor, the most recent episode, because my new favorite Danhausen was commentating. It was on FightTV.com. And I see NWA Power is on it as well, so I'm going to catch up on those. And I always say I'm going to catch up on UK, and then I do, and then 3 weeks goes by, and I'm like, I'm no longer caught up. But I'm trying. I'm trying, folks. This was fun. I'm glad I did this right after the pay-per-view. I think it's better off that way. Peacock is the worst. I have nothing positive to say about Peacock. It's really ridiculous when I let the cat out of the bag already. You're in the middle of watching WrestleMania 12, and it does not go together at all when you're like, okay, here's Rowdy Piper beating up Goldust, and we're showing footage from the O.J. Simpson chase. Don't ask if you don't know what I'm talking about. And then we cut to a modern commercial with State Farm. Like, oh Jesus Christ! If NBC knew, I love. Never mind the issue arguing about them censoring old stuff. Blah blah blah. I don't feel like fighting about it, but eh, the gall of the arrogance of them to think they're gonna get it all. I really would not be surprised if WWE on Peacock becomes everything from like 2010 and on. Like they're just gonna say, "Oh, the hell with it, guys. Screw you, wrestling fans. This is for kids. Go to hell." And that day is coming. I think the zombies was the beginning of the go to hell, guys. Well, maybe you can't take out a zombie by blowing her head off. Maybe you can't take out a zombie by doing karate kicks to the shoulder or clotheslining them over the barricade. But I bet you can take one out if you were fighting near the ropes and dropped one on the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da.